You were taught to be the strong one, the capable one, the one who holds everything together without taking up too much space. You come from generations of women who have swallowed their pain because no one ever gave you language for it. Okay, we're done swallowing. I made an entire documentary about the most painful relationship of my life, and from the thousands of messages that I received from women, it made me realize we're only as sick as our secrets, and we have a finite amount of time to make our imprint on the world. I have waited, putting a huge project out last year, and I've been ready to move on from that for a really long time. I've been ready to share so much of what has come through me in that process. And I've wanted to build a community around it because I know there are so many of you that are holding on to such powerful stories that we need. And now start making something else sustainable for myself. Like, honestly, I don't know. I've needed a place to speak, and I've needed a place to keep discovering, and I think this is the spot. So I'm here, I'm a filmmaker, there is no lights, there's not even the right microphone. And what I want to talk about is all the things that stopped me from starting. I have had every convincing explanation for why now wasn't the right time to start a YouTube channel, to try YouTube, to build a platform, to stop trying to penetrate an industry, which I did. I'm Maleena Pone, I'm a filmmaker, I'm a producer, I'm a storyteller, and I've been in the production game, the storytelling industry, the television industry for 20 years. I started in local radio when I was 17, which feels like 100 years ago now. I've worked for the BBC, for Channel 4, brands, campaigns, communities. I have sat in rooms that took me years to get into. But I burned out from trying to force my way in. Like, I wanted to try my heart work. I wanted to find my inner artist. Because the thing I've learned is your creativity does not go anywhere. If you don't express it, it calcifies inside of you. That is something that happened to me before, properly, completely. My body shut down, and it forced a reset. And I really had to truly do the work to heal, to understand what was going on inside. I had to look at my inner world to understand more about the decisions I've made and what made me think I could or couldn't do something. In the end, I transmuted that pain into purpose. I made a documentary for Channel 4. But this is the same feeling. It's like, what if no one watches? What if no one comes? What if no one values this? Like, I need you to validate me, don't I? Anyway, I'm doing it, so maybe I don't need you to validate me, and I don't need to validate you. That's the point. I guess what I'm saying is, now is the time to just be real, to be authentic, to continue to be the version of me that I have started being in the world and in my career in the media. I set up and built StoryTell-Her Studios, and StoryTell-Her Studios is my production studio and my personal development studio. This right here is StoryTell-Her Time, where I get to take my time. I get to tell my story and the stories of those that I meet along the way. I think it's going to be one of the most honest things I do with my time. So pull up a chair, grab yourself a matcha, a coffee, whatever you want. Now I'm going to sort of really break it down as to why I've built this, why I'm starting this. I'm not the polished version of a YouTube show. I produce shows for a living. This is not a show. I've built this because I need community. I need a platform, and I need you to join me here on it. I needed a space to express myself before, and I think a lot of us are now waking up to that right now. A lot of us are recognizing we don't need to ask for permission. And especially those of us that have needed to have that rubber stamp from external systems, the industry, institutions, relationships, for somebody to say to us, yes, you're good enough, you belong here, go ahead. And when that doesn't come, right? When it doesn't come in the way that you hoped, it's really easy to internalize that message that maybe I'm not good enough, maybe I'm not enough, maybe it's not for someone like me. And I've believed that at very different points in my career, but I also know that's not true because I've done things to prove that it's not true. And it's definitely not true for people like me and you. I've built this because I looked around and I couldn't find a space where I felt like it was really built for someone like me that straddles both. Carry my stories, the films, the subject matters that I take on, and I don't just mean professionally, I mean spiritually, I mean creatively, I mean as a woman, okay? As a brown woman. So, as that woman that has been spending years advocating for other people's platforms and rights to speak. Somewhere in that, I was telling myself I didn't matter. I didn't need to build my own platform, that if I could just get away with this or do this or play small over here, like I didn't need a whole platform. But I do need a whole platform. Okay, so many of us are pouring into other people's visions whilst quietly killing off our own. But my body said no more. No more. And I know what it feels like to suppress that call. I know what it feels like when everything just stops and then you have to mask it. And in that stopping, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest. It's like, what am I avoiding? What am I not doing? Why am I blocked? Why do I think I can just pause and put the rest of my creativity into someone else's hands or somewhere in the future? That I will do the next thing once everything's sorted, once I have enough money, let me just do this job here and then I'll go and make that next thing. Or when I have enough support, enough space, the right contacts. We'll keep waiting. But here's what I know now. The waiting wasn't patience before, and it's not patience now, it's not strategy. My nervous system is doing exactly what it's designed to do. It's stopping me from being seen. It's saying, hey, chill out. You don't want to put something into the world where you're finally showing up as yourself, not just your story. Because creative block is not a discipline problem, it is a safety problem. And when we know that, that's when everything can change. And so that's why I'm building this. This is my why. Okay, Storyteller Studios exists for women who have been advocating for everyone else but forgot to advocate for themselves. I'm speaking to you directly, yeah? You were taught to be the strong one, the capable one, the one who holds everything together without taking up too much space. You come from generations of women who have swallowed their pain because no one ever gave you language for it. Okay, we're done swallowing. I made an entire documentary about the most painful relationship of my life, and from the thousands of messages that I received from women, it made me realize we're only as sick as our secrets, and we have a finite amount of time to make our imprint on the world, and you don't need to hide from what you've been through. I didn't. Your story is not too dramatic. You are not too much, okay? We're not too much. And every week on this channel, I'm going to show up like this on a Sunday, chilling, rewiring my nervous system, but speaking to you about the things that I'm unpacking in real time, the observations I'm making in real time, the conversations I'm having with the women I work with, and the stories that I'm sitting with, and the films that I'm developing, the projects I'm developing, because I sit on many panels, I go to events, I give everything to those conversations. And I thought, what if I did that here too? What if I got the opportunity to have a little bit more of a conversation between me and you, and I get to take my time? And so this week I'm talking about creative block. I've had iterations of this channel for about 3 years. I've started it, I've archived it, I've deleted it. I've done the hardest thing possible. I put a cinematic documentary out on national television about one of the most painful experiences of my life. And somehow starting this YouTube probably put more fear in me. Like, that's the paradox I want to start with, because I think that many of us do the hard thing out there in the world for other people, but can't do the simple things for ourselves. So this is me doing the simple thing, finally. And if you found your way to this video, I really want you to understand something about me and about you. Where you are at with your story right now is not where you really want to be. Like, maybe you've been carrying something for years that you never said out loud. Maybe you know there's a story in you, a film, a book, a business, a truth, and you keep telling yourself you'll get to it when you're ready, when the time is right. Maybe you're in the middle of a transition right now. Aren't we all, and aren't we always, personally and creatively? And you can feel yourself on the edge of something, you don't really know how to step into it. Maybe you've been the strong one for so long, you've forgotten what it actually feels like to be held by someone else. That's who this space is for. And if that's you, I really want you to know something. You're not your pain, you're not your story, you are not your past, and you do not have to stay stuck there. There is a space where we do the work together. the inner excavation, the process of understanding what your story is, what it's worth, and how you tell it on your own terms, in your own voice, at your own pace. And I'm going to be talking about that every week, without the suffering, without doing it alone. That's what Storyteller Studios is about. That's what I'm about. I'm really glad you found your way here. I want this to be a valuable conversation each week, and I'm going to be giving you actual examples, lived experiences, things that are swirling around in my head, and why I believe storytelling is healing. So whatever you're sitting on, whatever you've been waiting for, it's here, it's now. And every episode we will be unpacking what it is that's holding you back. So if this has landed for you, please subscribe, please share it. That's the first one done. And my matcha is still warm. I will see you here next week. That's it. I'm not doing it again. This is the first take. This is the only take. There are no lights. I don't even have a mic. I'm filming this on my phone. Like, everything that I knew in terms of how to make a show for YouTube, I've thrown out that playbook because I just want to show up here honestly, authentically. Whatever that means now, right? Authenticity and consistency. And I want this to be something I can travel with, because I'm going to live a big life and I can't be in the same location all the time. Although, in saying that, this is quite a little sweet corner of my office, so it might be here every week, I don't know. But I just think the reality is we wait for so long to do the thing that we really want to do. And I have waited, putting a huge project out last year, and I've been ready to move on from that for a really long time. I've been ready to share so much of what has come through me in that process. And I've wanted to build a community around it, because I know there are so many of you that are holding on to such powerful stories that we need. So I'm going to be here motivating you to share them. Be here motivating you to know you can transmute that pain into your purpose. And be here every week offering stories, anecdotes, tips, some of my own healing experiences, because I really believe that's how we integrate it all, and we witness each other and we give each other permission to show up. That's all I want to do. I love this. Like, this energizes me, and I haven't been doing it enough. So I'm going to do it here, and I can't wait to see you next week.